Hello, YouTube modeling community. It's Friday. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm your host, if you want to call me that. I've told you I've got some exciting news. This is our Friday bench update, what progress I made on the builds that I'm working on that are for me. So let's jump into it. I'm going to get a little relaxed here. Bring you a little closer. So, kind of break it down to you. A couple weeks ago, I was approached by a gentleman. Asked me if I would be interested in something. I was already aware of this gentleman, and kind of not what he was offering me, but what he offers to all of us as hobbyists. After some further talk back and forth, he worked out a plan. I read over his plan, and I think it's a great fit for this channel. The gentleman's name is Mark. His company is Hobby Nut Models. There's several others out there that work with Mark. Matthew over at Model Car Videos. Jason at Blue Ox Model Shop. I just saw his video this morning. He's working with Mark now too. So Mark likes to pay it forward, and by that, it comes back to what I always say about spreading the cheddar around a little bit. So after my research of this gentleman, I come to find out, from him, get it straight from the horse's mouth. He is an avid builder and has been for 40 plus years. So he knows all the ins and outs of the hobby. And he knew, over the years what it would take to get where he wanted to be. And he had a lot of help along the way. So that's why he likes to pay it forward. And by him doing that and approaching me and this channel, he thought that would be a good fit to become an affiliate member of Hobby Nut Models. I'm not a real smiley, excited guy. It has nothing to do with you guys or what I'm doing. That's just me. But I'm floored. I can't say enough. And especially you guys, all my subs. I mean, oh my God. I can't thank you enough. I never thought that I would grow that fast. 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks it's been since I first put my first video on there. And you guys have responded in leaps and bounds. And I'm asking you to leap, higher and jump more bounds. The reward for all that for you guys is guys like me and everybody else that's on here. All the older guys, the Don Yost, the Lucas C's, the Matthew, the Jason, the Jeff, the Fred Henry, all these guys that have a channel. They bring you all this great content. It's a wealth of knowledge. It doesn't mean you have to do it one certain way. I don't want you to do it my way. If my way works for you, fine. Run with it. But get other perspectives, and that's what it's about. So after we work that out, we've come to an agreement, and I will be, and this channel will be, working with Mark at Hobby Nut Models. There'll be a link down in the description, along with my email. That link, a lot of people say, well, what's that do? What it does is, if you hit that link, that will send you straight to Hobby Nut Models, and you can view all of Mark's great products. He has the full selection of MCW paints, paintbrushes, tools, model kits, used model kits, new arrivals, vintage stuff, whether it be cars or tanks or planes. You'll pretty much find everything you need there. And it saves a lot of running around of other places. Do you have to go strictly to Hobby? No, you don't have to, but by you doing it, that helps me to help you guys. I get, what's that mean? That means I get to bring bigger and better content to this channel for stuff you guys want to see. My biggest thing is I ball on a budget, and that's true to heart. I can't go out and buy the, you know, $60, $70 Tamiya kits and, you know, show you everything about them on here. I wish I could. It doesn't mean that Mark's going to be doing that for me either, but with your guys' help and my efforts, maybe we can get to that level where I can bring something like that to this channel. And that's growing, and that's what I want to do. You know, and nowadays the cost of a kit, you know, is $24 to $30 just for something that's new or something that's already been out for years. You go to your local hobby store or go online, you know, that's what they cost. So we just kind of got to roll with it. And, you know, and you can trade, you know, trade up with somebody. You go to a model show and there's vendors there. You might get lucky and find a good kit you've been looking for a good price. That always happens. Yard sales, Goodwill. I've gone to Goodwill before and found models on their shelves for $5, some for $4, some for a couple bucks. And, you know, I buy them. Even if it's something I'm not interested in, I buy it because somebody down the road may have something I am interested in, and I got something they want, you know, I'll do a trade. So the second thing that this adventure is going to bring us, and I say us, it's because there's not just me in this, it's you as well. It's going to bring kit reviews. I know there's a million of them out there, and it's a different perspective from everybody. So I can watch one person do, or 50 people do a review on, let's say, that C10 I'm building. But I get a different perspective pretty much from everybody, and I gather all that information and I put my own perspective into it, and that's how I know. So I know, you know, well, hell, the glass doesn't fit in it, right? So I'm gonna be facing that down the road. All these things can help when you start your build. Their insight and knowledge of that kit, it helps, because one guy may miss that glass not fitting right, and the other guy said, well, the hood will be, chances are it'll be warped. I bought 3 of them and all 3 of them are the same. That's all knowledge for you guys to know. So if you're dead set on buying that kit and you've got this idea and you just got to do it, you know the challenges that are ahead of you. Most builders, I think the gentleman's name is Chris. I'm not for sure. That's pretty much all he does. He does builds, but he does kit reviews and builds. And, you know, he just puts them together just like the average modeler would. But he lets you know along the way if something didn't fit right. Any little tips and tricks along the way. And I enjoy his videos too, because you know, he's getting all this new stuff. And he's reviewing it. And that review helps you know that when you buy that kit that, hey, this challenge is going to be here. This challenge is going to be... If it's something that, you know, freaks you out, and he tells you, well, I overcame it pretty easy. I just did this and did that, and it went together. Or that, you know, just constant problems, and this isn't for a beginner. All that knowledge is worth $1 million, especially if you're a newbie. I call you a newbie because you're new to the hobby. I've seen guys that bought a kit and built it and is better than me. It's just that they never knew they could do that, you know. But they did their research, and it paid off. And no matter what you do in life, research is key. So that's what, you know, all of us bring to you, is our vast knowledge and research that we've done over the years, especially as gentlemen that are a little older, you know, over 50 years old. You've hit all the bumps in the road and kind of know, you know, how to avoid them. And we do this to help the younger generation and anybody over 50 that's just starting the hobby. And that's what I like to do. That's how I pay it forward. I pay it forward, you know, every day. If somebody needs something, you let me know. If I got it and it's not something I've already got plans for, you know, it's yours. If you're in my area and your spray booth through craps and you got to get this paint laid down, come over, bring your stuff. You know, I'll hook your airbrush up, or if you don't have an airbrush, I'll hook mine up and you can spray it, brother. I don't care. As in, my casa, you casa. And by 3D printing, I hope to get that. That's I didn't think it was going to be that hard. And there's some guys it's not. It's second nature, and I totally get it. But you know, I'm 56 years old, almost 57. It's a little more difficult for me in the computer aspect of it. All the programming and, you know, changing files and getting files uploaded. That's where I'm running into my problems. And God, I wish there was somebody that lived right by me that had time to come over and help me, you know, get it figured out. Because once I've done it a few times, I won't have any issues. I've never had any issues in life. Once I've learned something and watched somebody enough times that, you know, I can figure it out from there. But I'm going to show you something real quick. In my video somewhere, either at the beginning or the end, this is his great logo. I love this logo. I've not checked with him to see if he makes stickers or anything like that. I hope he does, because I'd love to get one of these to paste on my refrigerator over here, because I just think that's a cool that's a cool logo. So remember, guys, you know, you can go down and check him out. Descriptions. I want to thank you guys for the subs. Keep them coming. The giveaways at 1,000. It's going to be a big prize package. We'll get more in that each Friday. I'll release a little more information. But it's, you know, this is my way to pay it back to you guys for taking the time out of your lives to sit down and watch a, you know, 15, 30, 35-minute video. And I do ask, even if you can't do it all in one sitting, you know, watch my videos and watch them all the way through. Because I don't just focus at the beginning, here's all the information, then, you know, shoot the crap the rest of the video. I kind of blend it in through the whole video. And I am a newbie to this video stuff. I'm trying to get into the editing of it. I'm just like anybody else. My time is very limited. And I still want to have time to be able to build. That's the main thing. That way I have something to show you guys. And so far the feedback has been great. More like the longer videos than the less, but I'm going to please both aspects of it. So Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to try to keep about 15 minutes or less. And maybe an occasional time it goes over a little bit. Fridays will always be the long videos. Now, working with Mark and doing the reviews, that'll be a special video, and it'll be a video by itself. And through the process of, you know, the open boxing, showing what you get with the kit, and as we build it, there'll be a video just for that. And I'll label those, you know, update 1, 2, 3, 4, however many updates it takes before we get down to the finished project. And I'll keep you posted along the way of, you know, how it goes together. You know, some ideas, tricks and tips to modify it, if I do modify it, and all that. My bench stuff, my projects will always be kept separate, and that'll always be on Fridays. I'm always going to try to do one little quick video, a 10-minute video on a tip or a trick. If you guys want to see something like that, you just gotta let me know. I'm always hesitant to show my stuff, but I don't mind showing how I do it. And again, it's a different perspective on how things are done. It doesn't mean my way is the right way. So don't ever say, "Oh, you said no." This is the way I do it. This is how it works for me. Same with that Createx paint. The best thing about that Createx is everything can be mixed together without any issues. You can take your paint when you mix it up. After you got your paint in your cup, and like I said, I always start off 2 to 1, and then I add the, whatever you want to call it, not the hardener, but I forget terms all the time, but you know, you put your other stuff in there, the 40-12, that's just how I know it is. I add a few drops, you know, 4 to 6 drops of Vallejo thinner. And then I stir it around and I let it emulsify, you know, 10 to 15 minutes. Keep it covered to keep any dust floating in the air out of it. You don't want to get any junk in it, and then jam up your air gun. Again, I spray at 26 to 28 psi with that. Anything higher, I've noticed that it dries so quick when it comes out of your airbrush, it'll mess the tip of your airbrush up. And it's a good thing if you do set 10-15 minutes between your coats to always clean your needle off a little bit. Just take a small Q-tip and some thinner, or the Vallejo thinner, and just kind of wipe the tip off a little bit. and then spray it, spray it a few times before you actually start spraying. It'll keep it from spitting and spattering. You know, and then clearing it. Now, I left a step out yesterday, and I apologize, John. So when you mix that clear up that I showed you, that is just the step. There's another step involved. When you get to that point and you put a few coats of that down, it's time for your decals, or it's time to sand your junk out. Don't wet sand it, just dry sand it, but use like 3,000 up to 7,000. Use all, you know, 3, 5, 6, 7, whatever you have. Don't skip the steps. Put the steps in. Stay away from the edges like any other paint, and get your junk sanded out. It's a funny. You know, get any of the dirt you got in your paint job out at that point, even before you clear. Once the stuff sets up for about 15-20 minutes, even on the paint, you're golden to go ahead and sand, dry sand, but use the finer grits. Don't be hitting it with, you know, 1200 or anything like that. That's too rough. You'll put scratches in your paint. But I have used 1500, and then I worked at 1500 all the way up to 7000. I usually start with, if it's real fine junk in there, little dust particles, I can usually get that out going from 3 up to 7 or up to 8. I never take it to 12. It's too thin then, or too smooth. You want the surface toothed, just like in real life if you're painting a real car. That brings me to this. So at that point, once you've got this couple coats of clear on it, you're good then to sand that clear down a little bit, dry sand it, wash the body, let it dry thoroughly. Blow all the dust off, any dust that's gotten on it, blow it off. Then put your decals on. Wait 24 hours. And then do your final clear. Now, with me, I use a lacquer base, which is automotive base, 2K clear. It's what I've switched to now. I can buy a bigger quantity of it for 65 bucks. It'll last me damn near a lifetime. Where Splash, I love Splash. I'd love to be sponsored by Splash. You out there listening? Because I love splash paints. It's not that I'm snob. I've used Gravity. I've used, you know, all those other than 2 or 3. And there's always new ones coming out. You know, that quote that they're better. And they may be. I just haven't tried them yet. Same way with the Hobby Nut models, the MCW paints. I've not used that particular brand. I have used enamels. I know how to do it. The mixing ratio, if you do go down there and you hit that link and you go and you purchase some MCW paints from him, he has things on there that shows you the ratios on how to make them, or mix them, I'm sorry. So you can, but it's like anything else. You got to play with it and see what works for you. So always have a little something to test spray on to see if it's spraying smooth enough, or, you know, a wide enough pattern for you, whatever, just like anything else. Don't just take that as hard and do it. It takes a little, you know, Matthew's got it down to a point. I can't give any better example than Matthew over there at Model Par Videos. He loves the MCW paint, and I really can't blame him, because after I see what he does with it and his finished project or product on it, it's a great finish. You know, he's not wet sanding, he's not color sanding, he's not clear coating. He's mixing his paint right. He's got a formula that works for him. He shoots it, and he's getting a great finish. I've seen his first projects. And you know, that was his biggest struggle, was to produce a great, you know, paint job, and he's achieved that now. And it's he just got outside of his box and he used a different product, and he played with it, he worked on it, and figured out how to, you know, get it down, and he's done that. So, you know, everybody has their own methods. So that's, you know, that's all I'm saying about that. But with this Createx, it's a great paint line, awesome colors. You can mix the clear in with the color. Once you get your paint mixed, that's what I was getting at. I went down a rabbit hole, I'm sorry. You can put a few drops of that clear down in there. If you just want to get, you know, a decent shine in between there. It's not going to hurt. You can take the pearl and mix it with another color and get a whole different color paint. They're not going to hurt each other by mixing everything together. Don't go real crazy, but I mean, you know, if you say, well, you know, I don't like that shade of blue, you know, you can lighten that, you can darken it. You can add more metallic to it. The sky's the limit. You just got to play with it and try it. And you're getting a big bottle. for $4 or $5, you know, multiple uses out of each bottle. So don't be scared to get a little cup out and mix it up. So let's get on with what's going on the bench here today. We'll start off with the NASCAR body. Like I said, this has got about 4 coats of clear. So I went back and I cleared it, and this is the step I forgot. So at this point, normally you would decal it. And this one, I'm not putting any decals on. There's a little bit of dirt in the paint. So if somebody is interested in this, let me know. There's a little bit in the hood too. What did I do? There it is. I'll put that on there. This is Createx Pearl Blue. I've just got the nose clip taped on. But it's all painted, and it's all got the same amount of paint, same amount of clear. I showed you yesterday where I had some areas. I just kind of hit those, kept hitting them, let it gas out, hit it again until I built up the layer in that area. Then once I got it to where it was close enough, then I added more layers of paint on the whole thing, just to blend it in right. In between each layer, I go this direction, just like I'm brush painting, and then when I come back, I cross-hatch the paint. But if you wanted this kit, $20, it's yours. That includes shipping. If you got a project you could use it for, I'm not a NASCAR fan, but I figured I'd go ahead and paint this whole thing just to show you guys. Once you do sand it a little bit, try to get some of that out. You can see that there's 3 spots there, and there's a little spot down here. There's a little spot here on the side of the fender, and then a couple tiny little pieces on the trunk deck. Not bad there. Get that sanded out. Then you can, shoot it with clear again, or put your decals on it, then shoot, once they dry, shoot it with clear after that. This has got a shine on it that is pretty close and resembles the way it would be in real life. It's not been polished out or anything. When I use Createx, I use the Novus product to polish the paint. It seems to work the best for me on that. And then I put a coat of Carnauba over the finished product. This is the other clear. It's the UVLS Clear 4050 Gloss. That's 2 coats of that on there. The more you put on, the shinier you get. Now, it will have to be polished out and get that, super high gloss, but you can see the light rings in this thing. I mean, it's super shiny. Overall, this would be a nice, diorama piece on the back of a trailer. You just got it back from the body shop, paint shop, whatever. Let your mind run wild with it. So, if you are interested, $20, it's yours. If not, I'll keep it, and I'll do the same thing for myself. I'm just not a NASCAR builder to let you know. Let's start with the gray stang. So we got all our panels in. Everything marked where it needs to go. These are the foam pieces. These have already been cut. They still have to be sculpted. I'll tilt it to keep it staying there. You can see it does fit good tight. So it gets one of these on each side. It gets one that runs across, blocks off this area here where this line is. And then it gets a piece across the back. Now each one of these has a chrome trim. Kind of show you here. Like I said, the interior is rolled and pleated, so I got to put those in there. And then I'll be gluing a little piece of styrene. I don't know the size offhand, but it's real tiny. That'll get chromed. So what I'll do is I'll get that piece glued on there, the rolls put in there, and when I have that, then I will take and I will paint this, the red. This stuff is paintable. You saw in that 56 or 55 Ford, the black one I built. The door panels have this in there, and I painted it to match the pearl frame. Kind of kept all the colors the same. So this is what I use. And it's just like the guys that do lowrider models. They use this stuff for their interiors. I will only be using this in the trunk, and the trunk is going to be open because with this one, it focuses the paint job, tires and wheels, underneath the engine, and the trunk. The interior has a lot too, but I didn't want to open the doors and go through all that. I always pick key points to put all my focus and energy into as far as detailing. The showpiece that I call a showpiece, like the Trans Am that I've told you guys about, that is going to be, the trunk open, the doors open, the hood, all full detail everywhere, and it'll all be visible. I can do a tutorial down the road on these if you guys want. Just let me know down in the comments. how I do my hinges. These are independent hinges. You can kind of see the little rod underneath there. I can take these hinges out so I can paint them. On the particular car, they're black, so they're not body color. Along with the brackets are black. And then, you know, black carpeting down here. This will all be black carpeting up on these little ledges. The Optima battery goes up here. If you look down here, the details are in there. You can put in the gas filler tube, the little detail for the latch. All that was scratch built. You know, the hood, the trunk deck that's set on there. Nothing obstructs it. What I got left is to sculpt the rear spoiler. I'm using Milliput for that. Because it is just, you know, I've not found a kit that had it where I could just scrap the part and put it on here and go with it. So I'm actually going to have to make that. So I'm kind of at that phase where once I get these little panels done and I'm happy with them, and I'll get them base painted, and then I'll get the little strip chromed. I'll use Molotow and a little paintbrush probably, or I got a real tiny Molotow pen. I may trim it out with that. But it's just these two pieces, and the piece that goes up underneath the hinges, the panel there that has a chrome trim on it. The back piece back here does not have chrome trim. It's just a red padded panel in there that matches the rest of it. I will put pictures up another time of the real car, how it's detailed. But I also offset my hinges. By doing that is, get them up here, you can see that hinge is bent or rotated in a hair. And what that does is that puts a bind on it. So when I open the trunk, I can keep that trunk at any angle or degree I want for display, and it won't fall down. So by putting a little bind on it, it's like a real hinge. That's its purpose. There's bind on, so when you open the trunk, it stays up. It doesn't just fall back down on your face unless the hinge has gotten weak. Same way with the hood, or a lot of older cars, hoods had a prop that hold the hood up. Newer ones, you know, they got those little gas charged shocks that hold it up, and when they get weak, the hood will fall down on you. But by binding one hinge out of the set, you can see that one's straight. This one, I just kick it in a hair, and that puts enough bind on it to where I can open that trunk deck and keep it at any level I want. And I'm sorry for the jumping around, guys. So that's where I'm at with that. That's pretty much taken me all week to get where I want to be with that. The C10, we are in base coat. We are ready for the flame masks, and now, because they're held up in customs in Chicago, out of Australia, I am, you know, I don't want to go any further with it until I finish what I start. You know, I've got the engine done, I've got the suspension done, tires and wheels are done, and everything else that goes on it will be done in the final assembly, so I don't want to even fool with that. The next big task is all the paint and the design, which leads us to, I told you before, that's where I was working on a design for the roof, since I can't find any pictures of the real truck. And after hours and hours of research, that's what I've done this week. This is the design I've come up with. It keeps, you know, a little curve like the body has in the roof line, and the straight edges like the old square, you know, box Chevys had. Each one of these stripes will be one of the colors using within the flames, going from the main dark green, lighter greens, yellows. It'll be a pearl yellow, and then duplicating, you know, the theme on down to the final little center strap here. And to give you a perspective on what, even though it's not exact, that's how the roof will be. So you can kind of see, you know, how the roof curves around. The curves are in there, and then the straight lines are in there. And I found one that really caught my eye, and it was done similar to this. Not exactly, but similar. So I worked and measured, and I came with this, and I was like, wow, I really like that. So this one is written in stone. This is how the roof will be. So we'll have a little lowrider theme to it. The truck itself is a lowrider. There's my inspiration. You can see he's bagged, and you know, he's sitting on the ground. He raises it up when he starts to cruise. My perspective on it, you know, the engine's going to have the LSX in it. It's going to have a big block. You know, it's a hot rod too. It's not just a show truck. But we are ready for flames, and you know, I'll keep you updated on that. And that's kind of, we're stalled out on that right now, so that's why more work's being done on this one. I kind of like to build one and then go to the next one, but I want to keep, you know, the content coming for you guys. Again, there's Mark's great logo. You'll hear me mention that a lot. You know, I'm just super proud somebody thought enough to you know, want to help me out, and I'm not I don't know the term, but I'll take all the help I can get. You know, I've had a lot of help along the way. You know, from guys like Jeff and, you know, Jason and Mark and Fred Henry and, you know, dozens of others that, you know, shouted me out, and, you know, all you guys have come and followed me. I can't appreciate it more. Let's just keep it coming. I want this channel to grow really big. I think I got a different spin on this. I think I can help a lot of people, and that's my number one goal. So always drop me a comment. You know, thumbs up, thumbs down, hit that bell notification. Let me know, you know, how you think, how the channel's going. If you don't like leaving comments down there, my email is in the description, along with Hobby Nut Models. Just, you know, link will be down there. Go check out Hobby Nut Models. Pick up a product, jar of paint, some thinner, paintbrushes. Pick up a great kit. It's going to help me, it's to help you. Keep this rocky road going round and round. I think you'll be pleased with what he has to offer, and by him helping me, what I'll have to offer you. And keep in mind the giveaway at 1,000 subs. I've seen other guys do something similar, but mine's going to be a little different. Some different methods in it. A lot of thought and planning is going into it, and this is my way to pay it forward back to you guys in a semi-big way, other than you know, hooking up with Hobby Nut Models and, you know, offering you guys a little bit more there. And you know, I'm looking forward to any other offers coming across the table. The more the merrier. It helps get the knowledge out of all these great products and places to go to get these, you know, these products. I can't think of a better way. So if you guys like this, you know, like I said, drop me a like, drop me a comment. If you don't want to comment down there, you know, send me an email. We can always talk there. There's no dumb questions. You know, if I can't find the answer to give to you right there and then, I'll find the answer that you're looking for, and I'll get back with you and keep in touch with you. If you guys see anything, you know, certain you want to see, that's up here, you know, that I haven't already shown you. I mean, that's all my stash up there. Get a little better view. There you go. Up there, down below that shelf right there, there's more stash. There's what's going to be coming up on the channel. All this stuff is unbuilt, or is restore projects, or a few of them are started projects. I just haven't finished them yet. You know, and there's all my aftermarket stuff, the 3D printer, all the stuff you guys see. If you want to see something specific, you know, let me know. I think we're going to be able to keep this video at 35 minutes. Please watch the video, the whole video. Even if you can't do it all at once, just come back and watch the whole, you know, make sure you get all the content of it. Fridays will generally be the only day that we do a long video like this. Mondays and Wednesdays, I've got it pretty much figured out how I can keep it down to 15 minutes. I'm not promising that I won't go over. I like to talk, especially about this hobby. And I like talking to you guys. So, you know, keep the great comments coming, questions, something you want to see, let me know. And thanks for coming on this journey with me, guys. Until Monday, Monday's a pretty big day. I got quite a bit to show you. Came in the mail. I got a little mental note throw in there too. And we'll see you guys Monday. Y'all have a safe weekend, and get some modeling in. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.